After 8 years of calling Eagle Pass High School home, newly appointed principal Amalia Riojas packed up her belongings to begin a new year at Sam Houston Elementary. Born and raised in Eagle Pass, Texas, this graduate of Texas A&M Kingsville says she always knew she wanted to pursue a degree and a career in education. Amalia returned to her community and became an English teacher in 1998 with a degree in history and in English. Eagle Pass is exactly where she began in education and is where she has moved up in her career as vice principal of Eagle Pass High School and now principal of Sam Houston Elementary.
I was born and raised here in Eagle Pass, and I attended Austin Elementary, Eagle Pass Junior High, and Eagle Pass High School. And after high school, I decided to go to Texas A&M University, Kingsville, where I completed my bachelor's. I majored in English and history, and of course at that point I already knew that I wanted to pursue a career in education. And during that time that I was there, of course, I wanted to come back to my community, and I did. In 1998, I started my teaching career at Eagle Pass High School. At the time it was the 9th and 10th grade campus, and I taught English there for a number of years. During that time, I completed my master's degree. I decided to go back to Texas A&M University, Kingsville, where I obtained my master's degree in educational administration. And it was then 2006 that I became assistant principal at Eagle Pass High School once it became a four-year high school. And now here I am. I'm now the principal at Sam Houston Elementary.
Now that Amalia prepares for her next step, she finds herself in a different setting altogether. Having had most, if not all, of her educational background in secondary setting, she has made Sam Houston Elementary the new home and has transitioned into her role as principal perfectly.
I think for the most part, the transition from a secondary to an elementary has been, at least for me, on the managerial aspect, has been a fairly smooth transition. But I have had to make adjustments in regards to numbers. I'm used to large numbers, handling a high volume, I guess, of students in that regard. So in that aspect, I know I've had to make an adjustment. And the other aspect is that I see the difference in our students here at elementary. They're very spontaneous, they can express themselves in just what they're thinking, what they're feeling. Teenagers do the same, but they're a bit more reserved, and it's not until they know you that they can actually be honest and sincere with you.
Amalia hopes to implement a solid foundation for her Cougs. She adds that although some would say that she tends to run a tight ship, she is always fair and balanced and on a mission to prepare each student for what lies ahead.
I hope that, and some, of course, many of my colleagues have expressed that they know that yes, there are high expectations for everyone, students, our teachers, everyone. But I think that they see that I'm fair, both with our students and with staff, that I am impartial, and that more than anything, the importance is to always follow what we have in place, and that in the end is what is right. And I hope that that's what they see.
She adds that nothing is more fulfilling or satisfying than following within an educator's responsibility to help shape our leaders of tomorrow.
We all have, as educators, we have a responsibility to bring out the best in our students. But because these characteristics are actually what makes and what will make a good citizen out in society. I think that's a very important role, and that's part of what we have as discipline. I'm a big believer in that, but it's not just because of a school setting, but rather what is it that they do outside and beyond school. I think we have, as educators, a big responsibility to instill in our students what is right, what is wrong. I think we've taken up that role, a much bigger role in that aspect. For whatever reason, sometimes the families, there's a different family structure at home. And so I think it is our job to take that on. And again, it's because we want these young kids going out there and knowing what their role is, and again, that they need to do what's right for society.
While the students of Eagle Pass High School miss her, Amalia is most looking forward to creating new traditions for the parents, students, and staff of Sam Houston Elementary. And she leaves the parents and community with this message.
First and foremost is one of our responsibilities as instructional leaders is to do two things. One is, as I mentioned before, instilling in our students what's right and wrong, and two, to provide them a solid education, because they have to go out in the world and do better for themselves. The answer is very simple. If they send their kids to us, that is our responsibility, and we will carry that out. That responsibility, it's a societal responsibility, and we take that, and I personally take that very seriously. And education is a means by which to do better. And I think I'm an example of that. I grew up in Loma de la Cruz. Like I said, I'm from Eagle Pass. I grew up in Loma de la Cruz, apartment 39. It's government housing projects in the downtown area. But I knew that school was the answer. That's what was instilled in me by my parents. That's how we all grew up, and we all went to college, all four of us. But it was a struggle, it wasn't easy, but education provided the means by which to do it. A todos los padres de familia, algo que nuestro mensaje es muy sencillo de parte mía y muy sinceramente, es que la educación es la manera de progresar. Lo que queremos explicar a los padres de familia y comunicarles es de que nosotros como escuela, nuestra responsabilidad es darles esa educación, y que si nos mandan a sus niños, esa es una gran responsabilidad que nosotros vamos a lograr con el apoyo de ellos, de darles esa educación que necesitan, de darles darles esa disciplina propia para que ellos sepan de qué manera conducirse como ciudadanos. Pero la otra parte es que por propia experiencia, yo crecí en Loma de la Cruz, apartamento 39, que son casas de gobierno, y crecimos pobres, pero yo sé, y mis padres y yo sé que la escuela fue la manera de que todos hicimos progreso, todos nosotros, todos cuatro, asistimos a la universidad. No fue fácil, pero sí fue algo que se logró, y eso fue a través de la educación.